संस्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita class where we were revising the 7th chapter. We have covered the first 3 verses, first 3 shlokas. In those 3 shlokas, Sri Krishna, as an incarnation of the divine, promises us that if we could develop certain internal discipline to educate ourselves, he makes these 2 as preconditions. Then we will be capable of understanding him in totality. Let me read the shloka to you to revise your memory. Mai asakta manah partha. Hey Partha, one who is totally asakta manaha, mai, in me, totally infatuated, saturated with the awareness of my presence. Let me repeat again. Totally and completely infatuated and saturated with the awareness of my presence in one's life. Mai asakta manaha. One precondition. The second precondition is Yogam junjan mad ashayaha. You have to be constantly aware of my presence and take shelter in me. Vai junjan madashaya. You have to be totally aware through willful, determined communication with me and taking shelter in me. What does it mean? Once you have chosen your goal of life, once you have chosen a form and a figure and a name, in a human form, figure and a name, who is the presentation of the Absolute, don't change. Don't flitter and jump around like a grasshopper. Directionless jumping around from one to other. Don't do that. Mad ashraya. Hold on to me. These are the 2 necessary preconditions. Once you do that, asamsayam samagram nam jata gyasvasi tatsridu. In the subsequent verses, I will teach you. Listen with one pointed attention. What will he teach me? The method, the procedure, the technique of how you can know me in my entirety. That is, we have our field of knowledge. Let us pay attention to how to achieve that and how to be that. What does he say? Asamshayam, without any doubt, any residue of hesitancy or doubt, you will know me in my entirety, in my totality. Now, what is our range of knowing? And let us try and understand how we can, as we are constituted today, with all our limitations and frailties and follies, how can we develop our own capacity of knowing to such an extent that I know, I experience, I am aware of presence of the divine in my life without any part and parcel left over. Samagram, in entirety, in totality, in a wholesome manner. This is what he says. And then he says in the next shloka, I am going to teach you how to know intellectually. How to know intellectually. And that intellectual conviction, how it could convert your personality in totality. Jnanam te aham savijnanam idam bhashrami asheshata. I will tell you also in totality, without any residue left behind, asheshata. Without any residue left behind, I will teach you what? How to be firstly, develop an intellectual, rock-solid conviction, crystal clear conviction. This is by my understanding, by my intellect, this is what the concept of the divine. All pervading, all permeating. This is what the divine is. And he will tell me in totality. I know it. And then I absorb it in such a manner, my whole personality is transformed. Though I appear as a human, I become the divine. He promises you, he will teach. And what is the end result? The end result is having known which, nothing else remains to be known. This is the starting two shlokas which summarizes the teaching of the whole of the seventh chapter. Then he says, look, I'll be very honest with you. Sahasreshu Manushyanam, amongst thousands and thousands of humans, Kaschit Jatati Siddhai, very handful few, a very few in number, they really genuinely try to reach that goal. And they progress to some extent. They achieve success, siddhi. Kaschit jatati siddhai. To achieve that, they make efforts. Of those effortful people, a handful of it, a few of them, reaches success. And that success is in the process of evolution of your personality. I will tell you, let there be nothing mystic about it. In the dream, sometimes you dream of Holy Mother. You dream of Sri Ramakrishna. You dream of your Ishtadev or your Ishtadevi, whatever form, figure or name it may be. you dream. You could have dreamt so many other things of the world which you are used to dreaming, but that particular night you dreamt of the divine. That is a progress. What does it mean? From the point of view of dreaming, it is your subconscious mind which displays itself and its vrittis during the dream, sleep. So, it is saturated yourself in such a manner that is uppermost in your dream. That is an indication you are on the right track. Then, more you practice, in a time of great trouble and distress and, I would say, agony, you pray from your heart, oh God, help me out. And you will feel really out of nowhere, help comes to you and you are helped out. And when it is happening, you are aware that my God has responded to my cry, to my appeal. That is Siddhi. So what happens is, we live in a godless manner, slowly and slowly and slowly, we saturate ourselves with the awareness of presence of divine in our life, and process of unsaturated solution is getting saturated till it is super saturated, totally saturated. Tasteless water becomes absolutely sweet drink because it has saturated and absorbed sugar crystals. You have saturated and absorbed the awareness of presence of God. This shloka tells you, changing your egocentric personality to a complete divine-centric person is no child's play. It's a hard bag-breaking job. He doesn't mince matters, he doesn't hide anything from you. This is what he says in the third. So that be prepared that to change your godless personality into a totally saturated divine personality is no joke, no easy task. Be prepared for it. And now from the fourth shloka, he will start teaching you the art of being aware of presence of God everywhere. Now, before I go into it, you may feel I'm going into something which is mystical. No. I'll give you a very concrete, tangible, worldly example. Say, for instance, you are, or let me put it this way, an accident happens, a car accident happens on the road. And there are passers-by, pedestrians walking down. One of them, by education, is a doctor. One is a lawyer. One is an auto engineer. One has a great feeling to serve, serving people as children of God. People have different orientations, different perspectives. What has happened? An auto crash has happened. A car crash has happened. The lawyer instantly we'll try to look at it legally, who was right, who was wrong. Sorry. Why so? Because he's steeped in that education. He's saturated with legal education and he's trained to see which is legal, which is illegal, who has done it rightly, who has done it wrong. That car crash stimulates into him his background, his education, in which he is saturated. An auto engineer, he will look at the crash, it seems somebody's brake has failed. Or he was swerving madly, maybe he was drunk. His education leads him to analyze why did it happen mechanically. A doctor, he will see, oh my, must be injured, must have broken his ribs, the steering must have come to his chest, or his knee has got stuck. That will be his spontaneous reaction. And the other person, what can I do to help them? 5 people with 5 different backgrounds. The happening is only one. A car crash has taken place. But 5 people from 5 types of education sees that. Now, this is the reality of life. You can't deny that. You react one way, you react the other way, you react the other way, and you understand this reaction is because of my education, my sanskara. Now, dear, think of, with these 2 shlokas to start with, Mai asakta manaha, Mai junjan madashraya. You have seriously taken this challenge and you are cultivating these ideas. What does it boil down to? It boils down to this. I am trying to cultivate and develop the absorbing awareness of presence of God. You live in this world, not a one-time experience. You live in this world. And all that happens around you, you are aware He is everywhere and He is playing with Himself in all these manners. And allowing us with our limited ego pollute the whole system known as divine play. Bhagavad Leela, God's divine play. You are educating yourself to look at that way. Why should it be impossible? It will take a little more time than anything else. Because transformation of your whole personality, full of godless sanskaras, you have to clean the stable and then you have to fill it up. You have to unburden or you have to empty the cup of your heart, which is full of worldly things, to make space for wine of God. The nectar of God has to fill it there. There's another example. I am now paying attention how to perform it in your day-to-day life. I'm more practical and realistic than a philosopher. Now, you know, mercury is the heaviest metal or mineral that human being had known. I give you a tumbler full of things. So many things, full of it. Say, for instance, chopped assorted fruits. Sanskaras are various. So let us say various fruit chopped, that is filled up in that tumbler. I give you an assignment. Empty the tumbler without touching it. You may fill it up with anything you like, but you empty the tumbler without touching it. You take up this challenge or this assignment, and what do? You think over. All these pieces of fruit has a weight. And the most weighty thing that I know of is mercury. If I can get a little mercury, let me keep on slowly and slowly pouring mercury into the tumbler. Being the heaviest, it will go and stop hitting the bottom. You keep on adding. It is filling up. It is taking a space, a volume of the tumbler. And because it is heavy, it goes and settles down and others float on it. You fill it up and they spill over. There's nothing to hold them. They come up and the pieces of fruit falls away. And you keep on pouring mercury. The tumbler is full of mercury and all the dirt has gone. Here's an example. Your Ishta mantra is like a drop of mercury. And you keep on repeating it. It goes and starts filling you up from your bottom, as it were. Bottom of your personality. The depth of your personality. Fills up. And while filling up, it makes room for itself and all other non-divine thoughts are spilled out. And a time comes when your personality is totally divinized. You have transformed yourself from an egocentric being to divine-centric. It's common sense. Forget the philosophy. This is an example. And examples are created to teach you the abstract philosophy in a realistic, materialistic term. That is what this example is. So now, from the fourth chapter, having given you this introduction for the fourth chapter, Sri Krishna will take up teaching you. How does he start? He starts from where my level of awareness is. Wherever my level of awareness is, he starts from there. What is it? I am, the whole cosmos is, and I am told there is the Lord God of the universe. I am told. I have not experienced it. I have heard it. I have a little conviction about it, which is very nebulous and hazy and shaky. It is convincing me once, it doesn't convince me 100 times. This is what I am. I am, world is, and I am told there is a Lord God of the universe at whose behest the whole world moves, the whole cosmos moves. Now, he says, look, as you know, you have a body. As you know, you have a spirit. What is the spirit? Awareness of your amness, who manages this body. I am hungry, I must eat. I am sleepy, I must sleep. I have no exercise, I must go and do some exercise. You are the ruler of this body-mind complex. That is what you are aware of. That is the level of your awareness. Sri Krishna says, conceive of me. How? Let me read the shloka for you. Bhumi apa anala vayu kham mano buddhir evacha ahankara iti amme bhinna prakriti ashtadha. I have 8 material aspects which makes my body. And this is extending everywhere. Now, let us come back to our level of awareness. This is my body. The chemist will say, a chemical scientist would say, these are the 92 elements. I think now the numbers have increased. When I was a student, I had to recite all the 92 elements of chemistry. It is composed of 92 elements. A physicist would say, no. There's nothing known as matter, it is all energy. A biological scientist would say, oh, it is an innumerable number of cells. And a spiritual scientist would say, there is something known as spirit, which is expressing itself as your ego, which makes you feel I am. So each science has its own explanation. Spiritual science has its own explanation. Bhumi, earth. Apa, water. Anala, fire. Vayu, air. Kham, ether. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. The 5 principles, 5 elements of this cosmos. 1,000 types of permutation and combination is being made of these 5 elements, and the grossest to the subtlest is made of these elements in the grossest form and the subtlest form. Infinite number of permutation and combination. That is what the material world is. And what else? These are 5. He says, I am made of 8 different elements. What are the 3 more? Manaha, Buddhi, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara. Sorry. Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankara. My mind, my determinative faculty, Samshayatmika Manaha, Nishayatmika Buddhi, and Ahankara, my ego, I am. And I am separate from everybody. The sense of separateness is the cause of diversity. But I can say, you have a body, I have a body. That is a unity between you and me. You have a mind, I have a mind. That is a unity between me and you. We forget that. We rotate around my egocentric, separatist identity. Sri Krishna says, look dear, these 8 elements of nature with which I have created this cosmos. Always remember. Why? Because there's not a speck of space or an iota of time or anything that is perceivable is not without me. I am there. How to see God everywhere? The foundation is being laid. That all the diversity that I see, this timber, this marble, this carpet, that cushion, that chair, that human with his shirt on, with his trouser on, with his beshti on, with his glasses on, all that I see, it is saturated with the awareness of existence, isness. It is, that's why it is perceptible. It is, that's why I know with my 5 sense organs. Try to remember that the awareness of existence, awareness of eternal presence, awareness of amness is nothing but the manifestation of the divine. You tune yourself, you educate yourself in this manner to be aware of the presence of the eternal existence, who is nothing else but the divine, the Lord God of the universe. This is the teaching that starts. What is the novice's lesson? That you have specialized yourself, you have educated yourself, you have saturated yourself with a particular perspective of life. What is that particular perspective of life? What is it? I have been educated to see the world based on 4 concepts. A name, a form, nama, rupa, qualities, gunaha, and utilitarian value, artha, kriya, karitva. That's how I've been educated. Life from my childhood. This is your little finger. This is your ring finger. This is your middle finger. This is your index finger. This is your thumb. This is your palm. This is your hand. This is your wrist. This is your forearm, your elbow, upper arm, your shoulder. Name, form, qualities, utilitarian value. This is about your body. Chair, carpet, cushion, marble, timber, this. That's what our education is. We have saturated ourselves with this. Now we are adults. We have the capacity to re-educate ourselves by devoted, dedicated, determined, disciplined actions. So let us re-educate ourselves. How to be aware of the presence of the Divine every moment of my life. And that Divine is being concretized, equating it with my isness, my existence, my presence. Please try to move step by step. This is what is happening to me. So, I have been educated in this manner. And this education of mine does not allow me to see the oneness in diversity. Does not allow me to see, because I have educated myself. It always makes me see the diversity, the separateness of the things of the world. Sri Krishna is starting a process of adult education. The adult must be convinced this is an education. If I can educate myself in this education, I'll be free for all times to come. I'll be one with my Maker in heaven. I'll be able to manifest the divinity already within myself. I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. It is for you to decide. He has started giving you the coaching class, as it were. Bhumi, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhir, Evacha, Ahankaram, Itiyamme, Bhinna, Prakriti, Ashtana. Material. What about the spirit behind it? What about me? I see material around me, but I am. Where do I find that God? Jaedam dharjate jagat, in the next sloka, the last two words. Jaya idam jagat dharjate. That is my spirit. I hold the whole cosmos in its proper place and run the show perfectly, correctly, excellently, if you stupid humans don't interfere. Always remember that. It is we stupid humans, we interfere and we pollute everything. And to be very, very contemporary, with this pandemic, the whole world is standstill and the pollution level has gone down. The whole sky is naturally blue all over the world. And scientists are measuring the pollution level, the carbon dioxide level, and they say it has reduced by 50%. Why? We are not burning the fossil fuel. Cars are not moving, planes are not moving, all the engines are not working, everybody is at home. It has reduced to such an extent. So when I say from the spiritual point of view that God wants to teach us, coach us as to what attitude we should develop within ourselves to look at this world and interact with this world in tune with God's planning and God's execution of His plans in a perfect, precise, excellent manner. So let us move to the 5th shloka. Aparatu yamstu anyam prakritim vidhi me param. Aparatu yam anyam. Apara. This is not sublime. This is a part and parcel of my being. As this body is a part and parcel of my being because I'm identified with it. He's giving you an example at parallel with you, coming down to the level of your understanding. The whole world is I am. Because I am, that is why I am aware of the whole world. For me, the world doesn't exist if I am not. It may exist with you. So when you go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the world does not exist with you, with me. But, I'm sorry, when you go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the world does not exist for you because you are merged with the Absolute. But the world exists for me because I have not yet reached there. How to reach there is the process. So he starts from diversity, he will end up in unity in diversity. That is the ball game. Why? The diversity will lose its hold of reality on you, but the diversity will be there. But it will lose its hold on you. This is what it is. Now, dears, let me read the 5th shloka. Apara yam tu anyam prakriti vidhi me param. Aparatu. It is not so sublime wisdom, which I passed on to you in the previous shloka. What is that? The supreme knowledge is Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Jaya Idam Jagat Dharjate. I am the kingpin. I am the fulcrum regarding my world. He says, I am the kingpin. I am the fulcrum around which the world moves. That is my para. That is my sublime existence. Shed of all these elemental concepts, the pure spirit. That is Sat, Chit, Ananda Swarup, Atma or Brahman. Sat is Satta, existence, absolute and pure. Chit is Chetana, awareness, absolute and pure. And at that stage, there is Anandam and Anandam and Anandam. Nothing but divine, ecstatic joy. That is your true original nature. Sri Krishna says, by that I hold the cosmos together in its own place. So these two shlokas, the 4th and the 5th, teaches you what attitude of self-education that you should start. Try to see, try to feel, try to behave in such a manner within yourself. You are totally aware of the presence of the divine in the grossest of the gross matter, in the worst of situation, or in the best of situation. You are aware of the presence of the divine. And that divine is not high up in the heavens. That is your true original nature. Is it clearly understood, my dear friends? Now, let us move to the sixth shloka. He is concluding his lessons here, sectionally. What does he say? Etat yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadharaya aham krishnasya jagata prabhava pralayas tatha. He says, look, all this diversity that you see, that you are experiencing, from the grossest to the subtlest, all that you see, they are all within me, and they are in me, they remain in me, and when they are destroyed, they merge in me. Tasmat jayate tasmin liyate tat jalam shanta upasate. This is one of the famous extracts of an Upanishad. What does he say? Ashanta Purusha, a person who has achieved his goal and he is at peace with himself. I have known what I wanted to know. I have experienced my true original nature. He is a Shanta Purusha. There is no restlessness in him. He is absolutely saturated with divine ecstatic joy. From him, tasmad jayate, this whole world with its infinite diversity comes out of it. Tasmin liyate, it goes back into him. Tat jalam, jayate is jakara, liyate is lakara. L of liyate, J of jayate. Tat jalam. It's a word specially created. Shanta Purusha upasate. He worships him. That is, he interacts with him. He says that concept of the spirit, that concept of the spirit is what is your true original nature. Now, let me give you an example. It may be a bit enigmatic to you, a little riddlesome to you. I'll give you a worldly example. And it is from the scriptures, not created by my woolly-headed ideas. I am always supported by scriptural statements. I don't talk anything to muck around. No, it's from the scriptures. What does the scripture say? It is an evening time. It is dusk. It is half dark and half light, where the night is falling. Though you can see things. After the day's work, immersed in your own thoughts or very tired, you walk down your walkway to reach your home. All of a sudden, you see something. You see it as a something, samanya jnana, general knowing, something. The law of association of something, the length, the diameter, the shape and the form in which it is lying, by law of association, you really see a snake there. And you jump up. Oh, a snake, help me, a snake. People come around with sticks and lantern. What is it? A man may be in danger. It's a snake. And those people, without knowing, on basis of Shamana Jnana, general knowledge, start killing the snake with their stick. After hitting the snake several times, some person observant, he finds there is no reflex in an animate object. It should writhe in pain. It is being beaten to death. See that? So he pokes with his stick, lifts his lamp. Oh dear me, it is a piece of rope. Somebody whose law of association is with a torn garland thrown away on the roadside, he will not see a snake, he will see a garland. Somebody will see someone has spread some water on the sand, so there's a black mark. And there may be a crack in the soil. Of one instant, so many things can be seen. According to the person who is seeing, whose law of association brings up a sanskar on the surface. That is what it is. So a broken land with a crack, watermark on sand, a torn garland, and a snake. All is being superimposed on a piece of rope. That is the real jnanam, vishesha jnanam. Special knowledge which has posited and identified it's a rope. Now dear, you because of your samskara create these things on a rope. You create this diverse cosmos on a rope. And in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, all the diversity and separateness goes back. The end result is I am, and that I am merged to experienceable, not describable or recitable. Tat jalam shanta upasate. It has come out of it, it has stayed there, and then it has disappeared into that. You see a snake in a rope, you see a torn garland in a rope, you see a crack of soil in a rope, you see a watermark on soil in a rope. They have all come from the substratum, the adhishtan, the rope. And when you see the rope, vishesha jnanam, oh dear me, what a mistake I made. It is a rope. The snake was imagined on it, and that snake has merged back into it. The garland, torn garland, has gone back into it. All they have come out from that, gone back into that. Tasmad jayate, tasmin liyate, tad jalam shanta upasate. This is what Sri Krishna is trying to teach you, educate you, coach you, so that you can outgrow the concept of separateness based on the ignorance of your true original self. You have seen all these things on a rope. Why? Because you didn't see the rope as a rope to start with. Is it clearly understood, my friends? This is what he says now. Aham Krishnasya Jagata Prabhava Pralayastata. I manifest myself from it, in it, and I go back into it. That is what I am, the Lord God of the universe. I am the creator, that is, you, because of your ignorance, you manifest things from me. Tad jalam, tasmad jayati. And thereafter, tasmin liyati. It goes back into it. And the Shanta Purusha knows the origin. That is the root. That is the divine. This is how he concludes this sixth shloka. Now, from the sixth to several shlokas onwards, he will teach you with what perspective you should look at the world. Try to educate yourself. You are an adult. You need not go to a school. At every moment of your life, you cultivate the habit of interacting with the divine. Whether it's a creature, an insect, or with a high and mighty individual, whether it's animate, inanimate, organic, inorganic, living, non-living. Try to educate yourself. And where is your center? It is not on vacuum, your ego. You are. I am. The world is. And this world is nothing else but a creation of my ignorance because I'm egocentric. Let me remove it to divine centricity. This is how the seventh chapter, throughout the seventh chapter, God will place before you 1,001 different examples to be cultivated, to be pursued, to be mastered, and to be saturated with. This is the end all and be all of spiritual life. Thank you, my dears. Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Friends, I will take a week's time to decide when I start the Mundaka Upanishad classes. Please kindly bear with me. Thank you.